I've made my straps. I'm just gonna do those next. So I folded it in half, ironed it with wrong sides together. I folded these into the center, or almost to the center, and then folded again and ironed it. I ironed it. Now I'm just gonna sew down both sides. Oh my goodness. I've been messing with technical issues all day trying to do some different things, and boy, let me tell you, fries your brain. And I'm using a 4.5 inch stitch length. Now let's get you over there where you belong, sister. Oh crap, I forgot to do the other one. Finish it. Forgot to finish the other one. Don't go wonky donks. Alright, I'm gonna go across the bottom. Oops, I forgot I'm not supposed to use that. And I forgot to go across here too. Alright, I'll have to clean up all those straps. Now I got to do this one. And alright. Make sure it's folded right. And start. Boop, boop. I don't know why. I must not have ironed this one too good. And I'm just going to flip it over to the other side. This way the straps don't curl as much. And go down here again. I was making sure I was recording. Because I don't have any more of these straps, so. Oh, and I interfaced the straps with SF101. So those are done. I have the right sides here. I'm going to sew them right sides together. Line them up. Sew down both sides across the bottom. Got to square the bottom. I'll have to do that too. Huh, Hannah, we forgot the bottom, didn't we, buddy? But I like to pin it all together before I square out the bottom. That way I know they're both exactly even. If one's wonky, they'll both be wonky. So now I'm going to mark my bottom. But I need a ruler. So I'll use this one. So I'm just going to mark out a 3-inch bottom. 1, 2, 3 right there, and that looks well. This is a big bag, so. And then I just draw it on. I have fusible fleece on this one, so we're using a 3-inch on here, so we're going to do the same thing over to the other side. 3-inch. And don't worry, that won't go through. I did it real light 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay, there's that. Where's the cap? This away. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay, my, oh my, what a wonderful day. Oh, you know what? I should probably put the handles on this time. I forgot last time. All right, I am gonna just take this, mark down the center, and make sure they're both together when I do it. All right, I'm just gonna snip. Oh, those aren't fabric scissors. I'm like, oh no. And cut. There. So now I have my markings done, and I can go over here and put on my handles, which I put the 4 right in the middle, and then I'm going to make a mark on the wrong side. Come on, 4, get over there. Doo, doo, doo. Well, that ain't working too good. Boy, I'm batting 1,000 here today. Well, I didn't need to go back that far. Is this not working either? Oh, it's working. All right, now. Well, you know what? I am going to take this part of this apart because I forgot the handles and I'm not doing it again. Not going to mess it up again. So, I'm going to move this out of the way. Take my handle. Just getting off some of these threads. Now I'm going to line the handle up where that mark is, right on the side of it. You can see it right there. And I'm just lining this up here. And I'm going to put a clip. And make sure not to twist my handle. I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. If you don't want your handles that big, you can make them closer, but I think that'll be perfect. Well, let me check it out. Oh yeah, it'll go on, or you can just carry it. If you want it a little longer, you could go in and line up this on the outside of this one on that line, and the outside of this one on that line. Then it makes your handle a little longer. So I think I'm going to do it that way. Okay, so now I'm going to leave this clip together, and I'm just going to go over to the machine and just base that on there. Every time I knock this thing over. Oh. Come here, pretty fabric. I don't want you on the floor. Let's move you over there. Maybe you'll stay. All right. So let's line it up. And I just put it right on there. Let's turn this down to a 3. Even though we're basting, I back stitch. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Put it right on there. Okay, now that one's on. Back to the table we go. Line everything back up. And line this up. And then put this right on there. Make sure you have this lined up first though. And then I put it on the fella. And I got this ruler from Marmino, in case you're wondering. She has nice sparkly rulers. And this one's perfect for handles. It's my go-to for handles because it lines up perfectly. So now I'm going to take the other handle that I have. Oh wait, I gotta turn it the other way. Duh. Okay, I've done this one. Now I'm gonna put this one right on the edge, on the inside, right on that line. See, it's lined up right there. Put a clip. See if I got another clip. I don't want to take my alphabet clips. All right, right on the inside of this line. And let me check to make sure I did that right. Yes, I did. So now I'm just going to go over and baste these. Okay, we're at the machine. We're just basting on the handles. Okay, now my handles are on. This time I will not forget. Now I'm going to clip this back up and just sew it down the sides, across the bottom, and just cut out this square. And I saved these squares because I made, that doesn't look like 3 inch. Oh, I guess it does. I made a cat blanket one time out of just these squares. Well, they were fleece squares, but same kind of thing. So no sense throwing those away. That's still pretty, so I'll use it for something. And sometimes if I'm making putting a zipper on, this bag is getting this snap because I want it to be able to go shopping and not have to unzip. You can just throw everything in there, your purchases and stuff. But without the fusible fleece on it, but even with it, you can peel the fusible fleece off and use these for zipper pull, or the zipper tabs. All right, now I'm just going to sew down one side, across the bottom and around. Do I have it on? Yes. Okay, let me make sure this is lined up. And I'm doing 1/2 inch. I like to give extra room with the seam allowance on this because when you get to the top and you have to top stitch, you can open up those seams and there's less bulk. Some people do 1 inch, but I don't like to waste that much. And you could have quilted this before you put it together. I just put the fusible fleece on and called it a good. Now I'm going across the bottom. I'm not clipping threads, just going to keep on moving. Line up. And I always back stitch at every corner because, well, I don't know why, because I just do. To make sure the stitches don't come out. Line that up. Somebody's texting me. They can just wait. They can just wait, man. Ooh, let's get that out of there. Make sure this is lined up. It is. even though it doesn't look it. This is just more. All right, that's all done. I can put these clips back in, just make sure I don't have any ABC ones because they go over there. But I ordered some new little clips. They're little tiny clothespins that have the alphabet on them. All right, now we are just going to, we're going to square the bottom where we cut out that hole, you know, the square at the bottom. We're going to bring it together. We're going to line up those seams, nest one way or the other. I think it wants to lay that way, so that's the way I'm going to do it. Just like that. Line this up, clip, and clip this side. And we're just going to sew straight across there. Same seam allowance as the bag, 1/2 inch. And I'm going to nest those. Oh, nope, it wants to go that way, so. No, let's go the same way, so keep it going straight. So I got those nested. Got a clip there. Make sure this is lined up straight. And a clip there. Now, I'm just gonna sew these on 1/2 inch. Keeping it flat. I always start in and then back up and then go back on. Don't ask me why, that's just the way I do it. And then I always back up at the seam. There must be a thread stuck or something. Oh yeah, I see it. It's stuck on the presser foot. There we go. All right, because I stopped and took my needle out, I am going to back stitch. Oh no, the thread's broke. Crapola. Gonna start back here, right on there. Back stitch. Alright, there's that one done. And let's go to this one. And line it up. Back. Oops, I went off too far. Alright, now I'm just doing the same thing, sewing at 1/2 inch. Okay, you can clip off the corners, this bulk if you want. I just leave it in there because I think it gives the bag extra stability, but we'll see. All right, before I go on to the lining, I usually do the lining first, but I go in and check the corners to make sure everything's been caught when I'm stitching. And that corner thread got caught in there, so I'll cut that out. Then I check the side seams. Those look good. This looks good. The bottom looks great. They're all lined up. Actually pretty good. And so that's all straight. So this is what your bag is going to look like. Well, my bag. And it's really big and wide. So, but it's going to be it's not going to have a stiff bottom. It's going to be a nice soft, so you can fold it, put it in your car or whatever, or just go shopping and put everything in it. So now I will work on the lining. And I traced out an overlay, which didn't show up on my video because I forgot to film. So here's the overlay. All I did was sew all the way around the top of the overlay. Now I'm going to cut the lining on the back without going through the vinyl on the front. Putting it together. There, it's done. All right, so there is that. This is that's another one. All right, so now I have my pocket. And it's pretty big. It's a pretty big pocket. I've picked my zipper. I'm going with a darker purple, and I'm gonna make it longer than the pocket. Now I just gotta get a zipper pull and put that on. Okay. Now I just need to sew the zipper onto here and onto here. All right, let's move that zipper pull out of the way. And let's just clip this up. And then I can sew it on here. And I'm sewing the wrong side of the zipper to the right side of the fabric. Take it down a little. All right. Okay, now we're going to flip the zipper like this and bring this up and sew that on. That's not even, look, good thing I looked. So let's get you up here, buddy. All right, let's put this right with there. Here, line it up and clip. Clip. Oh, that wasn't even open all the way. And get another clip down here. There. Okay, now we're gonna sew this on. All right, so this is what we have here. This is how it looks. So when you unzip it, there's your pretty sides inside, and the top of your zipper is up. Although I wanted this to go, well, it could go this way, yeah. There, now it's the way I want it. All right, here is my overlay. I'm just going to take the overlay and center it over top of here, of that zipper. Just like that. And now I'm going to sew all the way around the inside there. Okay, I sewed here down Now I'm keeping it straight and sewing across the zipper lay. And you can go back and forth over that if you want. I did not. Okay, now I'm going to lift my foot, and I need to get that zipper pull in there. So let's slide it in. Slide it in some more. Yeah. Come on, get out of there, baby. Get out of there. There we go. Okay. Now that's... Alright, now let's get it, let's turn it, get it straightened out so it's where it's supposed to be. And then when we get there, we will sew those together like they're supposed to be. Okay, we're just gonna sew. Turn carefully. Now I'm gonna put that up there again and move it out of the way and go over top of it. And then I'm gonna move my zipper out of the way and go to where I was. And then pull those to the back. Okay, look what happened. When I sewed that overlay down here, I forgot to move my pocket out of the way. So I basically sewed the pocket shut. So now I will be taking that bottom overlay out and the stitches and correcting it. I took this apart and now I'm going to sew the zipper in, but you have to keep your pocket pieces up and down out of the way when you're sewing that on. So let me try this again. All right, now I'm gonna fix my mistake. I'm gonna start here. I have both pocket pieces up, one up and one down out of the way. Okay, now I'm going to come down the other side, keeping those pockets out of the way. That was my big mistake. Now I'm just going to go right along the edge. Okay, now I got to move my zipper pull out of the way. And keep it together and keep going. Okay, back to where I started, but I'm gonna zip this up to make sure I get it right. Okay. And we're gonna... Okay, that's done. I just got to pull my threads to the back to fasten off and clean up all these threads that are all over the place. This is what we have. There's the back. When you unzip it, you have a pocket. So now I'm going to sew up the back of the pocket. Pocket's all done. Clip the corners, and now this is ready. You'll flip the bag through here And here is the slip pockets. So I'm just going to sew those together, right sides together. I got interfacing on one side. I'm going to leave a hole for turn. I'm going to leave both ends open and just sew down the sides, because those will get closed when I sew it into the bag, because it's bigger than the bag. Okay, so line these up. Go to the machine. And okay, that's done. Now I'm just going to turn this pocket right side out. And if it wasn't 100 degrees out, I'd be pressing it out, or, pressing it. So I'm just going to finger press or something. Press with no iron. All right, give this a good press. Roll your seams. Now, I'm going to top stitch right down the seam. Okay, now we'll go over to the mat, and we're going to fold this in half. Get that crease, and I also want to clip this so I know where the middle is. Okay, let's move this one out of the way. Now, we're going to put the seam that we sewed, the front of it, on the, let me move some of this so I can see. My goodness, I'm just making a mess over here today. Come on, get out of the way here. Put you all away when I'm done. Okay, I'm going to line it up. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to line it up at 6 inches down on both sides. Yeah, so it's 5 inches down, but it's on the 6 mark. So right there. And right here is going to be your middle mark. So this is where the middle will be. So let me see here. I will start here, go down, come across, go up, come back down, and across. And I'm trying to think if I want one big pocket, but I may do a couple smaller pockets over here. So I will put a pin here. And I'll do a pocket there. That'll be 3, and then one big pocket there. So let me put a couple pins just to keep it from moving. And you don't have to worry about the ends. I cut those off after I'm done. All right, so now we're gonna start here. We're gonna sew down here. We're gonna go over to this pin. We're gonna go up, back down. We're gonna go over, up, back down, and all the way off. And I like to start right at the end from the corner back stitch. And yep. Whoop. Need my foot down. Okay, we're gonna turn it here. We're gonna go up a stitch, back, and then go, whoop, I forgot about that pin. Now we're gonna come right to here. Okay, now we're gonna turn the other way because we gotta go up here. And I'm just eyeballing it. If you want to measure and mark, go right ahead. But pretty much if you keep it straight, it'll stay straight. Okay, now, oh wait, I got a back stitch. Now I'm going to turn, take 2 stitches, turn, back stitch, and then go down right next to that one. Then we're going to turn, and I like to back stitch over. Get those pins, and then we're going to stop here. Close enough. We're going to turn. Well, it's a little bit bigger, but it's fine. Looks straight to me. Oh, I forgot the back stitch. So we're gonna go uppy daisy. And we're gonna turn this way. Take 2 stitches. Well, that was 3, but it's all right. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Go back down here. And then back stitch. Now we're just gonna sew. I don't know where that pin went. I'll have to find it. Oh, I left it in. Haha. Okay, now I'm just gonna sew right off the edge. And then I'm gonna baste the edge of this one. Okay, that's it. Okay, you got these hanging out. You're just gonna trim them right up to there. And then you're just gonna sew this together just like you did the main. All the way around. You're going to leave a hole for turning. We're going to line these up. We're going to line these 2 middles here. And then go over there and start clipping. Okay. So there is the top. We're going to do just like we did at the other one. We're going to do a 3-inch bottom. Again, I save these. They also make a good stabilizer when you do a snap. And it's going to be the same, 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm going to back stitch and go over here so I can turn this. Back stitch. Whoops. Not on the right seam allowance, so let's move it over. Start over. And there. Better not be after my kitty. That was supposed to go. Okay, we're gonna back stitch. Now we just have to square the corners, which I showed you how to do before. Here's the front of the lining, and here's the other side with the slip pockets. Now I have to turn this back, right sides together to do the snaps. Okay, I got my centers lined up. I have this piece of leftover vinyl I'm going to lay on here because that is where I'm going to put the snap. Is put it right in the middle where I want it. Hold on to it. Take a pin and just put the middle and then draw. Then I leave that on there because if I don't, I get cut happy. All right, where is a seam ripper? Come on, seam ripper. I know you were here. I just used you. Well, must be over there now. So, I'm gonna hold on to it. Make sure it stays lined up with those lines. Cut the hole, or just the side slits is all you're doing. Okay, now I'm gonna leave that there. And I'm gonna poke this through the hole, but I'm gonna make this hole a little bit bigger. There. Okay. Where'd it go? Okay, we're gonna go in here, through here first. Come on, get on there. Might not be able to see with my big head in the way. Okay, now I'm gonna put this here where I cut it. And put that on there. That'll give it more stability. Put the washer on. And take my metal ruler. And then I just go like that and over. And I save that. Now I'm just going to turn it over. And make sure it stays lined up. And then I take a pen and I put a dot right where that thing is. Then I put this on there and a dot. Then I put that dot in the center. put a mark. Now I'm gonna seam rip this. Oops, I lost it. Gonna seam rip this open. Not my finger. Oops, I bent it, but that's all right. It bends back real easy. Okay. So that's there. Now we're gonna put this right here, and I'm gonna lift this up, and don't even need to mark. Okay. Now the other piece is gonna go up through here. Get that on there. Where's the other? Oh, right there. And I like to snap it on there so we know exactly where it's supposed to be. Get that on there. And you can put some, oh, what do you call it? Stuff there if you want. Then I put this on top. Then I fold them out. I fold them out because they're flatter. Then I take duct tape and put over top of this and put this right there. That'll just protect your hands. Whip it over to the other side, do the same. Okay, now all I gotta do is put the other bag, where is it? I gotta put this bag wrong side out. No. This is going inside. So I'm gonna put the outside in the bag. Just lining up, I line up the centers first. And make sure your handles are in where they're supposed to be and they're not all wonky twisted. And then I find this where I took the little snip there. Well, this snip's a little bigger, but you get the drift. The gift. Okay, now, the next thing I line up are these side seams. And I put them right together and clip. And then I go to the other side and do that one. And they nest right together. Okay, now I've got that done. Then I just start clipping all the way around to the out from the middle out. So now I am going to move everything out of the way. And I like to take this off when I do that, because then it reminds me, oh geez, you got to clean here. I'm just going to start sewing right at this clip at 1 inch. Going to back stitch. I always go over the sides. And just keep it straight with that seam allowance. This is a little bit over because I forgot to trim the. Now we're at a handle. I go over, back over, usually in the seam allowance. And then I just keep going at that same seam allowance all the way around. Always back stitch those. I don't want anything coming apart. That's why when I make a mistake, it's hard to fix it sometimes because of all the. Okay, I'm at a handle. So now I go there. Went back and forth over it, and here's that snap, so I need to make sure I keep it out of the way. And that notch was a little close to there, so I went over it again. Now we're almost to a handle. Back stitch. And it doesn't matter if your back stitch goes into the seam allowance. All right, it's all done. Okay. I don't clip this. I leave it in there for stability when I go around. If you have trouble with bulk, then you can trim it. Now we're just gonna put this right side out. All right, I got my hole here. I didn't leave a very big one, jeez. And you know I got big hands. Well, so you're just gonna pull everything through here. Now this is the time when you wanna check and make sure everything was sewed. Now I know the lining sides and all that was sewed because this time I checked it before, but I like to check all along here to make sure there's no puckers and any thread sticking out I like to get right now. And then, well, there's more. And I like to iron it up like this. Where's the pocket? Oh, over here. So now I need to pull the pocket out, and my hand's in my pocket. I'm grabbing a hold of the lining and I'm pulling it through the pocket. This is just easier so you don't have to pull everything through that tiny little hole. Okay, all I need to do is sew this shut. So I pulled my lining through my pocket. Now where'd my label go? It's probably on the floor somewhere, so you know what? I will pick it up when I'm cleaning at the end. Here's another one. So I'm gonna stick that in there with it sticking out. I'm just gonna put a clip to hold it still, and then I am just gonna start at the seam allowance, back stitch, and then I'm gonna go clear over to the other one. You know, I hope that's not sewing through there. If it does, oh well, then back stitch. So my lining's done. If you had a serger, you could serge all the ends, but usually when my serger was working, I would serge all the outsides of the squares first, and then I would sew the bag together. It's a lot easier doing it that way, just serging each piece. Okay, now I'm going to shove the lining back through the pocket. Okay, there's the lining out of the pocket already, and we have the pocket here, and it's already should have been folded. So now we're going to pin this together. Okay. Now I'm going to put the label in there that says "You look pretty today." That's going right there. And I'm just going to sew this shut. I should have used matching. I'm just going to use the purple thread I've been using. Nobody's going to care if your pocket has darker thread. Well, somebody might care, but I don't. Sure everything got sewed. It did. So now I'll shove the pocket back in. Poke out all the corners. Still got a nice deep pocket. And I'll show you what it's going to look like. But I really need to press this before I do it, so it won't be today. All right. I'm just going to put these pins around to keep it down in there. I'm just going to roll the seams. And tomorrow morning, when it's not as hot, I will iron and top stitch. Okay. Well, it's not put in there. But you have a great big oversized tote bag. There's no hard bottom. This is totally, stashable, soft. I don't like my tote bags real hard. That makes them heavy when I'm carrying them. So, all that's left, and when I top stitch, I put the two, I snap that together till I get to it, and then I just top stitch all the way around.